swoops on the crown and massive basket.
3. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time.
Five games on a brutal assistant Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, two unpredictable teams face off tonight, which means we could be in for a roller coaster night.
Well, if it's anything like the previous game where we saw Adelaide upset the highly fancied Townsville Fire, we should be in for a great game. But both teams are desperate for that win.
Oh.
It's going to have a finals feel to it. As you mentioned, Bendigo, really it's do or die. They've got to, you know, string together a handful of games. And Perth have a pretty tough run home, and so on their home court, they're really going to want to come up with this W.
So let's put some context around this game heading into it as well. So the Perth Lynx sit 4th on the WNBL ladder. They hold a 9-7 record, whereas the Bendigo Spirit are 6th with a 6-9 record as the ladder pops up now. So with the Sydney Flames just storming towards the end of the season here, it's so important that Bendigo don't fall too far behind. They were dealt a bit of a reality check by the Southside Flyers 3 nights ago at MSAC. Bendigo with a pretty heavy loss there. But we know Perth have been a bit out of sorts of late, so Bendigo will come into this game with plenty of confidence, Laurie.
Well, when you say Perth have been out of sorts, it's highly due to the fact that their point guard and was up for the MVP award, Ari McDonald, hasn't suited up the last 5 games, and that's where they've only won 1 out of those 5 games. So she's not expected to come back probably till after the break. So that's sort of something that, you know, they've had to readjust some things. And Ryan Petrick, he's been happy that finally they've had a whole week at home where they can make some adjustments. Before it was, you know, a game, a couple of days off, and it's been hard to make that. But he feels that 12 wins will get you into the finals. Yep. So for Bendigo, that's every game from here on in. That's
how the Perth Lynx will line up. You mentioned Ari McDonald out at the moment due to a knee injury. Alex Chipotoni is starting once again for the Perth Lynx. As we have a look at the Bendigo Spirit, who have also kind of tweaked with their starting 5 over the past couple of weeks as well, with Abby Werung coming off the bench and Kelly Wilson coming back into the starting 5. But Froling, Werung and Samuels have been awesome all season off the bench for the Bendigo Spirit.
That's right, and I think any one of those could start in the absence of, you know, if anybody got injured. So they've been playing around with that starting group, but what you see on the screen right now has been sort of settled the last few games, and they will want it to be settled in today's game because they are going to have to come out very strongly. Perth lead all teams in what they score in the first quarter, so they're going to want to have to stem that straight away, and it's on their home court. So but you know what, they have nothing to lose. They can, you know, there's pressure on both teams, but I think that Bendigo just have to play loose and you know, take it right at them.
So teams getting ready for this one. It's 4th v 6th on the WNBL ladder.
Last time they met, it was a 10-point win to Perth, and Ari McDonald had 34 points, but there was no Kelsey Griffin for Bendigo, so that changes the look of their team completely when Kelsey's on the court.
She's in the starting 5 here as Davis taps it towards, the sideline. And within the first 4 seconds, Ali Wilson gives the fans in row 1 full value for money. Running straight into the advertising boards there. It's out of bounds, and it will be a Perth ball to start this one off. Perth have won the past 7 games at home against Bendigo. And of Perth's last 4 losses, all of them have been away from home as Davis gets an early block on her stat sheet.
The 2 big girls, both Canadians, going at it this game. Davis and Potter.
Warms the cockles of Laurie Chiswick's heart as Chibatoni gets the easy 2 points to get the scoring underway. Perth have won 8 of their past 9 games against Bendigo as Griffin goes to work and gets her first points. The quick response from KG.
It was a nice inside look and a nice finish from Kelsey.
Griffin barely played in the second half of Wednesday's game. Potter, lovely looking mid-range 2 drops for the Canadian international. And in really good form of late. Emily Potter, very consistent right throughout the season. Here's Crocker. Loosely guarded. Inside for Davis. Now Ali Wilson.
Got to get a shot up.
Kelly Wilson, did she get it off in time? Doesn't matter in the end. Davis gets the rebound and eventually, third time lucky, gets the 2. No shot clock violation called. So Bendigo, 4-4 the score. Davis bringing down the rebound. And the foul is called on Annalie Maley. Of course, Annalie Maley had 2 breathtaking seasons with the Bendigo Spirit before making the move west. Griffin steps inside, misses, and couldn't get the rebound. Ball in the hands now of Maley. Kicking it out for Chibatoni. Here's Atwell. She's in some hot form at the moment. Trying to play the pick and roll there with Potter. It didn't come off. Kelly Wilson for Ali Wilson, who lays it in. Oh, no. The travel was called, much to Wilson's surprise.
Well, it wasn't. I think it was definitely a travel. I just didn't know whether they would call it or not. Then again, you know, there's this 0 step that might be. Anyway, that's the call. That's the call.
Long attempt from Atwell is off target. Here's Ali Wilson again streaming down the court. She's in such great shape at the moment, Ali Wilson. She hits the 2. Wanted the foul call as well. Unforthcoming. Bendigo hit the lead. Atwell steps back.
Wow.
Well off target. She has been an excellent touch though, Amy Atwell. Her last 8 games, she's averaged 24 points and importantly been going at 45% from 3-point territory. That is her one wood. It is the Perth Lynx's one wood, is the 3-point ball game, and Atwell's been leading from the front despite the team's performances. Griffin kicks it out for Crocker. Really good look for 3. And Bendigo,
wow,
with an early 5-point advantage. Potter assessed and missed the triple in the end.
Well, we know that that's the style of play that the Perth Lynx want. Anytime they feel like they've got any space to shoot a 3, they've got the green light to do that. They're the highest scoring team in the competition, averaging 85 points. But to go along with that, Ben, they're the worst defensive team in the competition, allowing 83 points. So I'm sure their mantra is, we are just going to outscore teams.
Hey, they're fun to watch for the neutral. No doubt about that. Chibatoni loses control. Kelly Wilson kicks up the tempo. In game number 447 in the WNBL. Crocker thought about putting it up, almost lost control. Got it back for Ali Wilson, who reassesses with 10 on the shot clock. It's the screen from Davis, and then lost control. Maley for Chibatoni for Maley. And great patience from Annalene Maley. She roars as she hits the two and will go to the line for an extra.
It's been a frenetic first 4 minutes of this quarter. Some turnovers, each team is pushing the ball.
The Australian Open's on at the moment, but it does feel like you're
Yes,
sitting courtside and your head's going from right to left. The ball moving up and down the court frenetically as Maley completes the three-point play. Two high-octane teams going at it. Allie Wilson for Kelly Wilson.
You can see on those made free throws that Perth are back in a zone, but didn't seem to trouble Bendigo.
Casey Samuels off the bench and immediately having an impact. She's right up there for 6th Woman of the Year. What a season she's had. Potter turns all net on that mid-range. Kelly Wilson pulls the trigger on the three and she hits.
Well, neither team are having any shooting nerves to start this game, that's for sure.
Bendigo giving Perth some of their own medicine. Goodchild tried her luck. She couldn't get it to go. I said pre-game that the 6:30 local time Perth games are always fun to watch. Always plenty of energy. That is no exception at the start of this contest.
Now we see Abby Warerung and Alicia Frawling coming into the game. Pretty handy players coming off the bench.
And there's Frawling. And she will have an immediate impact as she earns a trip to the free throw line.
Great positioning on that cut, that baseline cut. Instead of going all the way out to the foul line, she caught the ball with her defender behind her, right under the basket where you should, and then, you know, force a foul.
Her last 5 games, she's gone 23 points, 13, 10, 12, and then 15, all going at 61% from the field. Talked about Casey Samuels being a contender for 6th Woman of the Year. Well, Alicia Frawley might have something to say about that, considering that she's only started once from now 16 games. Clinch Hoycard on the floor. She can't drain it. And Allie Wilson has been strong off the glass early.
Allie Wilson is so explosive bringing the ball up the floor.
It's a real weapon for Kennedy Kerryama. Allie Wilson. Her work in the point this year has been terrific. Already has the 3 rebounds. Quick hands to Crocker. Froling called for it, then had it knocked away from her, and referee deemed it was off her hands last. So these two teams have just played the once so far this season as Clinch Hoycard misses. Alicia Froling picked up a double-double that night, but she turns the ball over on this occasion. The last time these two sides met, Perth defeated Bendigo 86-73. That was all the way back in round 3.
That's right.
Seems like forever ago. Goodchild. Acceleration was excellent. Then missed the left-hand attempt and was fouled, so she can shoot 2 free throws.
Good perseverance by Goodchild to, one, get her feet in the paint and take the first shot, then get her own boards and be patient enough to, you know, go up strongly and not kick it back out.
79% free throw shooter, Mila Goodchild, and most of the Perth Lynx players are excellent free throw shooters as well, compared to Bendigo, who are one of the worst free throw shooting sides in the competition.
Yes, exactly. And as we know, there's been a lot of close games this season, and we always say free throws can win a game.
Perth up the ante defensively here off those made free throws. Ali Wilson. She went for three, and then a long rebound by the Lynx. Good child. Oh, stopped and propped and fell well short. A lob pass in for Ali Wilson for Froling.
Great running. Ali Wilson just had a little look around. It was a 3-on-3, and then she saw her teammate and Alicia Froling streaming down the court.
Atwell is fouled as she attempted the triple. And she can go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
I think she was a little lucky she didn't get called for the push-off before the foul occurred on her shot.
88% free throw shooter is Amy Atwell. As I mentioned, her last 8 games, despite Perth's topsy-turvy form, averaging the 24 points per game, and importantly as well, 9 3-point attempts per game for Amy Atwell. So she's getting looks and backing her shot. Successful trip for Amy Atwell.
Well, last on Wednesday night, Bendigo lost to Southside by 27 points, and between Griffin and Ali Wilson, they scored 2 points.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going to want to change that around. That wasn't their brand or their style of basketball.
Ali Wilson just couldn't buy a basket on Wednesday night. Griffin spent a lot of time off the court. Great team basketball and movement. Alicia Froling, again, she's so good at drawing fouls. She would head to the line to shoot 2.
Well, she did exactly what you're supposed to do against the zone. You could just see she was behind the last line of the zone. And then when her opportunity came to get the ball, she was able to duck in and, you know, finds herself at the line.
Contracted to the Spirit for this season and next season, and a really important signature for Kennedy Kerryama. She's made a really good start from the charity stripe off the bench. Maley crossing over on Froling, raising up, looked good. And then Goodchild arrived and rebounded and hit the 3. What a play, Mila Goodchild.
Well, it's always worth going hard after those old boards when you can step out and nail a 3-point shot.
Bundle of energy on the court. Can't take your eyes off Mila Goodchild. Werung just catches. So good in this situation, so good on the left hand. That is no exception.
Well, that was pretty good defense by Amy Atwell.
Here's Maley, she goes to work. Lovely deft touch off the glass. Maley lays it in for 2. Foul is called on the Lynx. 2 minutes to play, already 49 points between the two sides.
Some subs being made by both teams.
And Choi Card, 2 fouls already to her name, so she takes a seat. Abby Werung drives, left hand. Doesn't go in this time, but she'll have a chance to still score 2 via the charity stripe.
Abby Werung's tough to guard because she's shooting the 3 ball at 39%. So you have to close out long, and then you can see that she was able to put it to the deck and get herself to the line.
Last time she played Perth, Abby Werung, she had the 15 points and went at 6 of 9 from the field. She had a big game last week against the Adelaide Lightning, what was probably Bendigo's best performance of the season. Lynx already in the bonus. Here's Goodchild with 10 to shoot. Out for Potter, loves the mid-range, that's why.
Jeez, that's her spot. X that on the floor.
Big start for Emily Potter. She has 4 points. Both teams shooting well early. Crocker, oh! She's got 2 triples. Both these teams can't miss at the moment.
Right idea to try and hit Potter running down to the point of the rim. Just a little off target.
Bendigo going at 75% from the field. Perth not too shabby either at 40%. Here's Werung. For Wilson. Davis. No one came to her, so she took the opportunity to attempt the field goal. None forthcoming. Final minute of the first quarter. Maley. Well off target. Good child. Almost picked the pocket there of Crocker off the rebound. Bendigo with an important stop. Werung feeds Crocker. Now Kelly Wilson for Griffin for 3. And then a long rebound for Crocker, who drew the contact, and that's going to be a trip to the free throw line coming up for Merrin Crocker.
You just feel that Bendigo have that little bit more energy right now than Perth. Both teams are shooting the ball well, but, you know, second chance opportunities, got to make sure they take care of business.
65% free throw shooter so far this season, Merrin Crocker. Just been a little down in the past 6 games in particular, averaging the 9 points, but just the 17% from 3-point territory. 1 of 2 from that trip to the line. Eight-second differential between the 2 clocks. Shot taken there by Tage Morell, who's on the floor for the first time against her old side. She misses, and Bendigo can have the last say of the quarter. Griffin, determined, lays it in.
That's more like Griffin. Very uncharacteristic. I was going to say last game if that went in, but a really good start by both teams, but especially the Spirit.
Spirit lead.
Use that momentum and power you've created to explode out on your first dribble. Okay, we've got 2 more. 1.
Sometimes as women, we look for perfection as opposed to execution.
The work ethic is important when the players are 40 years younger than you.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the Bendat Basketball Centre. Perth Lynx and Bendigo Spirit going at it. Some great team basketball on display by the Lynx. But it's been the Bendigo Spirit who've made the fast start away from home. Despite some great bundle of energy from Mila Goodchild and some deft touch from Annalie Maley, it's the Spirit which hold a 28-21 lead over the Perth Lynx at the first change. Merrin Crocker has been hot from deep. She has 7 points to start this one, and Kelsey Griffin has the 4. Ben Waterworth with you, alongside former WNBL coach, former Opals assistant Laurie Chiswick and Kennedy Kerryama. Laurie, be pretty satisfied with what his team produced in that first quarter.
Oh, absolutely. When you think back to their game against Southside and, you know, how few points they had that first quarter and really how almost insipid they were. They look like a completely different team, and And as you know, they said during the week that wasn't their style of basketball. They have to put it aside quickly, get on to the next game, and they've certainly done that in the first quarter.
Crocker with 7 points for the Spirit, 6 for M. Potter, who's 3 of 5 from the field so far. Great to have you with us for some Saturday night hoops in the West. Perth and Bendigo. Bendigo to start with possession in this second quarter. Ali Wilson had an explosive start to the game. Griffin goes to work on the inside, feeds it out to Davis, who had it locked in there by Chibatoni. Possession arrow is with Perth.
Hasn't Chibatoni been good coming into the starting lineup in the absence, in the injury of Ari McDonald? And I've been really impressed the way she's handled her role and what she's contributed.
Averaged the 4 assists since coming in as a starter. Alex Chibatoni. Atwell steps in, used the right hand to put that one up. Didn't drop. Crocker streaming forward. Kelly Wilson holds it up. Ali Wilson lobs it in for Davis. She had the mismatch there and the body positioning, and she gets that one to go.
She did a lot of work to get that position and hold that position on Potter.
Hard to guard when she's in that position. Oh, X marks the spot. M. Potter nails it again.
She has been so consistent from that mid-range jumper.
4 of 6 now for Potter, 8 points. Oh, Davis easily gets around Potter and gets one back. Nice battle between those two players. The two Canadians going at it. Chibatoni for Morrell. Fades away. That never looked good off the hand, and easy pickings there for Davis. $18 points in the paint for Bendigo so far. They're doing a lot of damage inside the perimeter. Crocker just lost control there, ran straight into Potter. Players again scrap for it, but Perth come out with it. Chibatoni won't take on Wilson and Griffin. Goes back, and putting it up here is Gorman, who can't get that one to go.
Scoring sort of dried up a little bit so far compared to that first quarter.
Again,
nice pass.
Yeah, Davis in the right position and gets the right pass. Ruth Davis with an excellent start to this quarter.
Well, Ali Wilson did a great job of passing it and keeping it high in the air so that Davis could use her hands, get up, not bring the ball down, and finish strongly.
This timeout is brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL. Australian owned and designed, Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks and other leading retailers. Visit cygnett.com for more information. Yeah, great start to the quarter for the Bendigo Spirit. We talked about Emily Potter's efficiency from the mid-range, while Davis is doing great work close in. Not only the 8 points, 4 of 6 shooting, but already has the 7 rebounds as well, Ruth Davis, which is a big bonus for Kennedy Kiriana.
It's fun to see the battle of the big girls in Emily Potter and Ruth Davis. Like you said, both have 8 points, but right now Davis is leading in the rebound department.
Davis normally averages the 5 rebounds per game, but 12.5 minutes into this contest, she already has the 7 boards. All the scoring so far for the Lynx has been done by their starting 5, whereas Froling, Werung and Samuels have all contributed off the bench for Bendigo. And all 3 players on the bench at the moment. Here's Potter in her spot.
Wow.
Every time.
So now you've got to get up on that. You've got to carry hands. She's made enough of them to prove that that's what she's going to do. Make her put it to the floor, make her catch it further out.
Griffin calls for movement. She has 6 to shoot here. Running out of time and options. Ali Wilson with 1 to shoot, puts it up in time, doesn't get it to go. Crocker with the offensive rebound. Davis for Crocker, for Ali Wilson, who travelled.
Well, that was, again, you just talk about the energy levels and the determination and focus of what Bendigo are trying to do out there.
(34-25) lead for Bendigo. Must win for the Spirit.
Maylee's got her 1 rebound, which characteristically a little bit quiet. She's second in the competition for rebounding, averaging almost 13 a game.
Spirit lead the total count 17-7 at the moment. Getting it done off the glass early. The Spirit. And then Maylee just ran straight into Crocker. And possession arrow is with Bendigo. As Laurie mentioned, just slowed up a touch in terms of the scoring flow in this second quarter. Bendigo with a very handy 9-point buffer. Ali Wilson has Davis to her right, knew she was there, and Davis says, thanks, Ali.
Really good 2-man game. Ali Wilson just controlled the basketball till she saw Davis was in the right spot.
Goodchild was fouled on her way to the basket. So first team foul on the Spirit in this quarter. Ali Wilson is becoming one of the more dangerous point guards in the WNBL. We've known for years her scoring prowess, but her ability to bring teammates into the game has gone to another level in season 2024.
Well, she averages almost 5 assists per game.
It's Potter with a rare mid-range miss, although that time Davis was just a little closer to her.
Yeah, and she was that little bit further out as well. So that's exactly what Perth Lynx, Bendigo need to do.
Potter with 10 points, Davis with 10 points. This court usually a 3-point show, but it's the talls on the inside stealing the limelight at the moment. Here is Davis trying to make it 12 points. Can't make it 12. Potter gets the rebound. Good shot, almost lost control. Maylee sprints towards the rack. Potter this time works her way towards the rack and draws the foul as Davis attempted to block.
So as you mentioned, both players are, maybe I mentioned it, from Canada, but Potter, she has been named in the extended squad for the Canadian team to play in their Olympic qualifier in Hungary. Canada have Hungary, Japan, and Spain in their group, so another tough group, but that team will be announced shortly. I was speaking to one of the assistant coaches, and they're following their charges that are overseas, as in Potter, very closely.
And a very good season for Lynx. Crocker, oh, she is hot from downtown tonight. 3 of 3 from three-point land. Spirit by 12. Maylee for Potter. Can't get that one to go. And it's deemed off Bendigo hands, but Bendigo really shut the Lynx crowd up at the moment. Super efficient from the field, going at 65%. $14 on the shot clock. It's deemed, I think, off the feet of Crocker.
I think so. Reset to 14.
Potter backing down. Great defense from Froling. Potter went again and got it to go.
Not a lot Froling can do, just the size difference there. She tried her hardest and Potter just persevered.
Foul is called. Samuel's just taking a little time to catch her breath there as she caught one to the midriff. First foul on the Lynx in this quarter, halfway through this quarter as well. Bendigo holding that 10-point advantage. Froling catches, then lost control. Atwell for good shot for Chippertoni. Well off target. Pulled the trigger on that occasion. And quickly, Alex Chippertoni. Wilson, blinking in to miss that pass. And Crocker!
Wow.
4 of 4.
What great team passing and movement by the Bendigo Spirit.
She can do no wrong from deep. And Goodchild is fouled, much to the disgust of Abby Wareham, and will head to the line.
I like how Goodchild is putting some pressure on the rim, getting her feet in the paint, driving, forcing the defenders to do something. I know Ryan Petrick, you know, they're about the three-point shot, but when that happens, you know, you're not putting any pressure on. If you're not hitting those shots, you're then also not putting any pressure on the defense.
Averaging the 9 points per game this season, Mila Goodchild, a 79% free throw shooter on the season. 1 of 2 on that occasion. Samuels for Crocker, who has found a rhythm from three-point territory tonight, to say the least. Oh, what a cut from Samuels. The pass almost came off from Wilson. May have just been touched by Perth. Bendigo think it's definitely been touched by Perth, and they get their way.
You'd have 10 players on the court there, all pointing in their team's direction.
9 on the shot clock. Oh, Samuels cut through, C's parted, hit the 2. Bendigo by 14. Bit to think about here for Ryan Petrick. Amy Atwell puts the ball on the floor and is called for the offensive foul. Big couple of minutes for Casey Samuels.
Well, it's not only that it's 14 points, it's that they've scored 44 already, and there's still over 3.5 minutes to go, but you can see that's an easy call for the referees to make.
Atwell just the 3 points so far, 0 of 3 from three-point land for her. Ali Wilson again, the look away pass to Froling, who finishes with the right hand. Ryan Petrick's seen enough. Timeout is called, a much needed timeout. Bendigo have already put 46 points on the Perth Lynx, who only have the 30. This timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport is here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge at ctmsport.com.au. If you're Ryan Petrick now, Laurie Chiswick, is it just a case of playing a lot better and tighter defense?
Well, that's the thing, is that their focus has never been a lot on defense. But right now you'd have to say, you know, they've got to start locking some players down and playing as a team. But if that's not ever been your real focus, and it's just more about, you know, the run and the gun and the shooting the threes, it's sort of hard to get in and lock that down right now. It's not something, a switch that you can just turn on. You have to, you know, have practiced your you know, the structures that you want defensively. But I still think they can do a much better job individually and being more accountable.
Yeah, Maley just the 5 points. Atwell 3, no bench points so far. Emily Potter almost has half of the Lynx tally. She has 14 of the Lynx's 30, and she's sitting on the bench at the moment. Maley feeds to Goodchild. Clinch Hoycard pulls the trigger. Big rebound. And in the end, Maley will head to the line for 2. Crocker was quite demonstrative as she, after that foul was called.
Well, I think it went two ways. I think if we saw a replay of that, we'd see Maley sort of pointing and saying, there, I got that. And then she responded, and a little bit fiery out there. Good to see.
Many a fiery contests at the Bendat Basketball Centre over the years.
But that's what Perth need. They need a bit of fire right now. They need somebody to really, you know, step up and get them going.
Maley up to 7 points. Big performance this so far from Bendigo. Froling, backing down, kicking it out for Werrung, for Samuels, who pulls the trigger and can't get it to go.
Sorry, Ben, much better defense. They were really proactive on their defense. And then we see Maley drive into the basket. She's going to like that.
She's pumped, absolutely ecstatic. Annalee Maley puts her team on her back. She gets the two and will head to the line to try and make it 3.
But that resulted because they had they played great defense at the other end. They were up and they were in and they were forcing Bendigo to think about what they were doing rather than just moving so easily. And then they got that stop and just ran it down. Maley, just a great finish. Just have a look here if we can see Maley's reaction. See, she's looking. Yes.
Timeout called. Bendigo in the bonus at the moment as well. This timeout is brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops, the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years of age. Visit aussiehoops.basketball to find a program near you and to register your interest. So Annalee Maley up to the 9 points now. I mentioned before that she had 2 unbelievable seasons for the Bendigo Spirit, where she really blossomed as a player, announced herself as a player worthy of Opal's selection a couple of times over the past few seasons. Led to bronze medals at the 2022 World Cup, the 2023 Asia Cup, and then of course the 2023 3x3 World Cup as well, an MVP, WNBL MVP as well, #1 rebound of the last 2 seasons. It's been a dramatic surge for Annalee Maley in the past 3 seasons.
And from all accounts, she's loving living in Perth,
loves being close to the beach.
Loves close to the beach, and who wouldn't?
And good hoop as well.
And they're in a bit of a zone now, 2-3 zone.
Crocker can't keep that perfect 3-point efficiency intact. His Forster offensive foul is called. Plenty of encouragement still from her teammates for Chloe Forster.
How many games did you say Kelly Wilson's at right now?
Kelly Wilson is playing game number 447 tonight.
447, and she still puts her body on the line to take a charge. Kudos to you, Kelly Wilson.
21st WNBL season for Kelly Wilson.
She's amazing. I mean, she still has a spring in her step.
Still clearly worthy of starting 5 position.
That's the thing, is she's not just putting in numbers there. She's absolutely contributing.
Froling missed it. Now Goodchild, quick release. No good. Rebound there for Alicia Froling.
See if they can come up with another great stop here, Perth.
Wilson for Griffin. Good look here for KG for 3. And Atwell comes up with a rebound. Goodchild sees an opening here, took it, scored. Confidence personified from Mila Goodchild.
Hasn't she changed this season, going from playing limited minutes with the Boomers, you know, in previous seasons to her starting role and to what she's been able to bring. But a really nice drive there by Abby Werrung.
Werrung responds. She's 2 of 2 from the field, and then also perfect at the charity stripe. Maley lost control. And it will be a Bendigo ball with just under 1 minute left in this contest, in this first half, rather. So Bendigo, the timeout is called. 48 points they have scored so far. They only scored 57 against Southside for the entire game 3 days ago. But they are information and so much more. Download the free WNBL app today from your preferred app store. 55 seconds on the clock in this second quarter, and a good opportunity, Laurie, for Perth to continue to close the gap, because Bendigo led by as much as 16 in this quarter.
Yeah, they'd want to try and get it under that 10-point margin. That always feels more comfortable. So they'll need to come up with a couple of stops and some good looks at the basket. And for Bendigo, well, they want to try and extend this lead a little bit going into halftime. You know, Kennedy, when you said they'd only scored 57 points in the last game against Southside, he looked at this game as a new game, a completely different challenge, and they've approached it that way.
Yeah, it's looked like a brand new team as well. Ali Wilson only has the 2 points, but she already has 8 assists.
Yes.
To go with 4 rebounds. Here she is with the Spalding, leading her team superbly. Kelly Wilson for Ali Wilson. Griffin screaming for it. Offensive foul is called. Call on Davis. Davis has the 10 points and 7 rebounds so far. Here's Goodchild, had a great second quarter. She pulls the trigger on the three, all nylon. Big bucket from Mila Goodchild.
She's been impressive this first half to this ball game.
She's up to 11. 3 Lynx players already in double figures. Werra blocked, denied by Maley. They can have the final say of the first half. Lead has already been cut to 8. Can Goodchild come up with one final big play? Gives it to Potter. Did all the hard work. Atwell puts up the impossible. In and out it goes. But a handy fight back from the Perth Lynx in the back end of that second quarter has cut Bendigo's lead to 8 points at halftime. It's Bendigo's Spirit 48 to the Perth Lynx 40. Let's have a look at some of the second quarter highlights as both teams head for their respective change rooms. And the Bendigo Spirit held a pretty handy lead at quarter time, and it looked like it was going to balloon out in that. As well, 16 rebounds to 9.
One of the things that the Lynx did really well in that second quarter was they got themselves to the foul line more. They just didn't rely on their three-point shooting, and that shows. We know they're great foul shooters, 92%, 12 out of 13, great result.
So 3 players from the Lynx already in double figures. Emily Potter leads the way with 14 points, but Crocker has been awesome for Bendigo. She has the 13, including 4 or 5 from deep. We'll take a short break here from the Bendat Basketball Centre, and then we'll come back with second half action. It's the Bendigo Spirit leading Perth Lynx 48-40.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
It's a game of strategy, nerve and unpredictability.
Todd Woodbridge pushes Australia's most addictive game show. Over the Edge.
One counter for a shot at $40,000.
The more you risk,
2 counters, $20,000. I'll also throw in a holiday.
the more you win.
If you don't get that jackpot, you'll leave here with nothing.
New Tipping Point Australia starts Monday, Jan 29 on 9.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
I'm Izzy and we're here with Leo and Anna with the Ford Aussie Hoops.
Who's your best shooter on the team?
This girl right here. It's probably Loz. Do you guys have a favourite spot on the court that you like to shoot from?
Right here.
Right in front? I like it.
Do you have any tips for shooting?
So make sure your feet are always facing the rim wherever you shoot it from, and then snap that wrist and hold your follow through. Do you want to have a go? Yeah, nice. Nice. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. Good job. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Leo.
Good job.
Good job, Anna.
The
For centuries, supernatural creatures have lived among us.
There are vampires, werewolves, doppelgangers, witches.
And even hybrids.
Go! There are friends.
Our enemies.
The ones we love.
And the ones we've lost. A lot of blood, a lot of partying.
And if you're gonna die, it might as well be epic.
Sink your teeth into the drama.
Drink.
The Vampire Diaries.
Here we go.
Stream every episode on 9 now.
You overheated the generator.
Nice nightgown. Away.
Well, that smile might make all the girls at the church social swoon, but it's not gonna work on me.
Well, I'm not gonna be polite. I'm not gonna show you where a fuse box is. Night.
This Manhattan Doctor's life is going south. Stream all episodes of Heart of Dixie on 9 now.
I've got a staff meeting to go to, and so do you. You elitist Harvard fascist missed the dean's list 2 semesters in a row, Yankee jackass.
Stream The West Wing.
Feel better getting that off your chest there, CJ?
I'm a whole new woman.
On 9 now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
She'd only been going at 17% from three-point territory, but Laurie Chiswick, she's a big reason why the Bendigo Spirit have had a fast start to this game.
And she'll want to keep shooting at that pace too. If she's got a, you know, that's her thing. That's her, you know, I mean, that should be her scout on for Perth, is to get out and carry a hand and don't let her shoot those threes. But if she can get hot again this next half, that'll go a long way in helping Bendigo secure a W.
There is Annalie Maley on screen. She played an integral role in sort of kick-starting the Perth Lynx in that quarter, because in the second quarter, because Bendigo did lead by as much as 16 points in that second term. But in the end, the Lynx went on a 7-zip run and they've closed the gap to an 8-point advantage as well. It's been fascinating to see the two talls in Davis and Potter go head-to-head. They've been able to get one up on each other as well, but it's, I suppose, when you think of the Lynx, you think of those outside shots, but Potter showing how dangerous she can be on the inside.
Well, she is, and you know, equally, Davis has 7 rebounds so far, so they're both having an influence on the game. But just wanted to say, I've got a little weather report, Ben, from Canada.
Yes.
They're both from Canada, as we mentioned. Potter's from Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, Manitoba?
Yes, right in the middle of the Canada. And currently, just before I came here, I checked the temperature. it's a minus 18 degrees Celsius with a wind chill of minus 20, light snow. And for Davis, she lives in she's from a little tiny place in British Columbia called Smithers, which is almost closer to the Yukon than it is to down in the south of the U.S. It's minus 11 with a wind chill of minus 15. So just a little update. They would be loving being in Perth right now and the weather there.
That is quite a remarkable change in conditions that they would be used to. Just before the start of this third quarter, let's have a look at the Opal squad that was announced only a couple of days ago. So Izzy Borlase was named in that squad, but just before this game between the Lynx and the Spirit, Borlase came off just after half-time. with a suspected ankle injury. She finished with ice on that ankle late in the game, and she will be assessed for the damage, and we'll know the extent of that damage coming up as well. So, but I suppose we have our fingers crossed that no significant damage has been done.
And, you know, I'm excited to look at some of those players that we haven't seen recently overseas. Beck Allen, Ezzy Magbagor, Alana Smith, Mariana Tolo. You know, to fit them in then with the WNBL players, which we see week in and week out, it's going to be fascinating and exciting.
It's WNBL heavy squad, testament to the league and the talent in the league as well. As we get this third quarter underway, Potter and Davis going at it again. Chippertoni, Potter screaming for it underneath the basket, instead feeds Atwell, who is forced to drive hard. Looks like Bendigo really scouted her well tonight. A lot of easy possessions out there, or shots for Amy Atwell. Here's Griffin. Davis, Kelly Wilson, 5 to shoot. Ali Wilson, Crocker's got to put up with a prayer here.
Somebody's got to shoot it. Great defense by Perth. Not so great shot clock awareness by the Bendigo Spirit, but that's the way that the Lynx will want to start that quarter, coming up with a great stop.
High defense there as well. Easy cuts inside for Bendigo. Here's a cut from Goodchild, lobbing it out to Maley, who hits a lovely turnaround. Spirit, that lead has been cut to 6. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching. The Lynx and the Spirit. Ali Wilson out of nowhere hits a 3.
Well, that's the way to answer when a team comes out strongly.
1 of 3 from downtown tonight, Ali Wilson. Potter turns around, in and out. That attempt goes. Big opportunity here for Bendigo. Crocker has had the hot hand so far in this contest. Davis sets the screen. Kelly Wilson almost lost control. Now Davis catches, turns around, falling well short. Goodchild streams in, misses. Potter gets the rebound, gets another rebound, and it's just like it did happen in the second quarter. Emily Potter following up with a third chance opportunity. Relentless off the glass, Emily Potter. Crocker for Ali Wilson. And hits the points, and she will go to the line for an extra.
That was very savvy by Ali Wilson there, just reading where her defender was with Goodchild and then controlling that ball, seeing Emily Potter come across. Really nice finish.
Big 2023 for Ali Wilson. Com Games 3x3 bronze, Asia Cup 3x3 gold with Annalee Maley, along with Marina Whittle and Lauren Mansfield, and continuing to improve with every game she plays in the WNBL. Here is Maley for Chippertoni. Look deep off the hand. And in the end, Davis, Crocker and Kelly Wilson all work it out, with Bendigo holding a 10-point advantage. Wilson, Crocker for Ali Wilson. She's feeling it. She is feeling it. Ali Dub.
That was just a great, you know, inside, just ball movement by Bendigo.
She's up to 11 points. She's been feeding her teammates throughout that first half with 8 assists. Now she's got 11 herself. And then an offensive foul is called as Kelly Wilson hits the floor. Neither Goodchild will be called. Here's a look on replay. It's the arm coming across. Bendigo's lead has ballooned back out to 13. Griffin for Davis, for Griffin, lost control. Chibatoni for Potter in her natural habitat. Doesn't get the lucky roll. And Kelsey Griffin, with that rebound, becomes the 11th player in WNBL history to record 2,000 rebounds. Well done, KG23. Ali Wilson for Crocker. Works her way inside. Look away pass for Davis. Turns around. Can't get the two to go, but will shoot 2 free throws.
So again, I'm impressed with Bendigo's ball movement and player movement. So they're shifting the defense, looking at inside, looking at outside, and have a real balance right now. And when I looked at halftime, you know, they had bench points of 17 compared to Perth 0. So they're really, you know, Abby Warung's on. We know that Alicia Frawling can come on and do a great job. So they're really playing like a team right now.
Casey Samuels as well, but Samuels has 3 fouls to her name at the moment. Davis hits. Bendigo lead. Back out to 14 points. Something needs to change here quickly for Perth. Gorman trying to cut baseline. Referees confer. Crocker and Warung adamant it was off the hands of Gorman. It will be a Perth Lynx ball instead. Maley, well short. Right throughout, essentially from the tip, as Laurie, you've mentioned, as Ali Wilson misses on that occasion. The tip, you've just sensed that Bendigo have just had that extra 20% energy. Potter misses, and Davis raising up. Big, strong rebound. She's got a double-double with that rebound. Well done, Ruth Davis. 11 points, 10 boards. Wareham. Crocker. Ali Wilson. She can't connect. Really looking for an answer offensively. Griffin tried the emphatic rejection. Maley went over her head, but totally missed the ring.
Gosh, it's been going up and down for very little reward for both teams right now.
Crocker trying to feed Davis, and then no one from Perth went for the ball, and a foul is called on Potter. Line ball. Potter will take a seat though with the last player that the Lynx want spending too much time off the floor. Maley steals it. One-on-one with Griffin. Too good.
That's a sort of play that can alight certainly the fans as we could hear them, but the bench, the players on the court, that might just be what they need.
And that kickstart the Lynx. Froling, Crocker, 3 for 3. Connects! 5 of 6 from downtown Merrin Crocker.
What a game she is having.
Completely changed the momentum of her recent three-point shooting stats. Been outstanding. Atwell, oh, that's tough. Oh, my goodness. How the heck did she hit that?
That release was just so quick.
That's incredible from Amy Atwell. Off balance, at speed. Barely could see the basket over the defense. Somehow dropped. Her first triple of the night. Only the 6 points for Amy Atwell. It's probably the room to grow, though, for Perth is that Atwell only has the 6. Ali Wilson, though, at the line. Again, a team into the bonus pretty early in the quarter. The Lynx in the bonus and Ali Wilson at the line.
And that's something that Bendigo have done a good job at is getting their feet in the paint and trying to draw some fouls. And now if they do get fouled, they go to the line every time.
13 points for Ali Wilson. It's good child hits from downtown. She's got 14 to go with 5 rebounds and 6 assists. One of her better games of the season. Oh, not again. Oh, wasn't quite in Crocker's favour. She did well to feed Froling. No foul call. Good D from Clinch Hoycard. And Maley brings it away. And now Clinch Hoycard loves that spot. Directly in front of the rim. Downtown, that's smack Clinch Hoycard's position A. Lovely pass from Werung. Excellent finish from Froling. And she'll head to the line for an extra.
And that's what Bendigo have to keep doing. Every time that the Lynx, you know, power after them and come up with a big play, you know, they just have to steady the ship every single time because it's not easy to win in Perth. And both teams are desperate for a win.
Yeah, it looks like there's a tech foul being called as well. Wilson doesn't connect on that one. And now Froling will have the 2 natural free throws, it looks like. No? Yes, oh, sorry, the and one. Alicia Froling. She can't hit, so let off there for the Perth Lynx. Maley is riding every bump at the moment. Alicia Froling quick, rather took a heavy knock there, and she may have been busted open. That looks nasty. Argues her case with the referee, and then she's teched. With a blood nose to go with it. She'll be assessed on the sidelines, Alicia Froling. Frustrated. She's been frustrated all night, been talking back to the referees quite a lot. It is fiery. Fiery contest in the West.
Well, we know what's at stake here, Ben, that, you know, Bendigo's spirit is their season is hanging by a thread. We know that for Perth, if they lose this game, they drop out of the 5. Out of the 4 into 5th spot. So both teams are desperate for a win. And whilst it's a 13-point lead, it doesn't feel comfortable for the Spirit at all. You just feel like perhaps the Lynx are going to put everything together.
Short break in play here. The blood is wiped off the floor. There's Maley colliding with Froling. Couldn't believe the call. And then had bigger fish to fry after that. So Bendigo 65, Perth 52. They've shot it still an incredible 60% clip. Bendigo. They're still got 3 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. And essentially at the moment, all of Perth's scoring is coming from 3 players. Potter with 16 and 14 each for Maley and Goodchild. But then only 6 for Atwell, a basket for Chippertoni, and no bench points for Perth. The spread of scoring and the depth of Bendigo is causing problems for Perth.
And that could, in fact, really show up in the 4th quarter. If, you know, their bench, they've been playing bigger minutes and being more productive, that could certainly help them in the 4th quarter, Bendigo.
So hopefully Ari McDonald not too far away for the Perth Lynx as well. They need her back as soon as possible. She was such an integral part of the Lynx's hot start to the season.
Well, Ryan Petrick was saying, you know, and quoted in a article I read that they're working out how to play without McDonald when really that offensive system was set up for her. So it's about restructuring, you know, their playbook. And she was a pretty handy defender as well. So, you know, it does take a bit of time. But, you know, to be honest, I feel like all teams have had some sort of major injuries to major players. You know, Kelsey Griffin was out for a number of weeks. Jordan Canada. You know, you look at Townsville, Kunik and Zoe B. So each team, you know, has their own woes sort of when it comes to injury, and that often does play a part in ultimately winning a championship. You know, if you can be injury free and have a little bit of luck fall your way, that goes a long ways to winning a title.
So Froling was tech before. There was also we saw Ali Wilson have a free throw attempt a few minutes prior as well. That was because of a coach technical from the Perth Lynx bench.
They've got really, you know, strong protocols when there is blood on the court or blood on a uniform, and so they do have to stop play and clean it up properly.
Just over 3 minutes left in the third. Essentially free timeouts here for both Bendigo and Perth.
And this is where you always go now, which team is this going to benefit the more? And I would think right now it's going to benefit Perth. You know, they can talk about things a little bit more and give a rest to their starters who have played the bulk of the minutes.
Been a 17-12 quarter in favour of the Bendigo Spirit. Ali Wilson has been tremendous in particular. She's had 11 points alone in this third quarter. 13 points to go with 8 assists and 6 rebounds. She's in the form of her life, you sense. The numbers might have been bigger in previous years, but
well,
the ability to impact game is off the charts.
And I agree with you completely. And I feel like she's similar to a Beck Cole, where her playing in the 3x3 has really helped her and elevated her in her 5-on-5 game. You know, she can get to the rack really quickly. She's explosive. You can shoot the three. She's up and in defensively. All things that you have to have such a well-rounded game when you're a 3x3 player.
Annalie Maley, the 14 points for her, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. She's really tried to lift her team. Just hasn't had a lot of teammates come with her though so far. The last time Bendigo defeated Perth at Bendat was back in November 2016 when Bendigo defeated Perth 84-71.
See, that's a pretty good stat you've pulled out there, Ben.
Can't claim it. The great Mark Quinn has brought that one out. Thank you, Quinny. But we're on the verge of a 7-year first here for the Bendigo Spirit, should the trend of this game continue, although Annalie Maley might have something to say about that. Claret off the floor officially now, so Maley will head to the line. She missed the technical, misses the first free throw attempt, but hits the second. 12-point differential between the two sides. Casey Samuels on the floor. Ali Wilson for Griffin, for Crocker. Ali Wilson's free, but as is Abby Werung. A let off for Perth. We know how efficient Werung is from deep. Spin was brilliant from Maley. Clinch Hoycard, feeds Goodchild, and in Griffin's face, put it up, and Griffin rips it away. Big rebound from Kelsey Griffin. Bendigo sensing an opportunity. Wilson gets the screen from Griffin. Now Crocker with 6 to shoot, goes to work, steps back. Nowhere near it on that occasion. Maley has Goodchild in the corner when herself missed. Again, this trend in the third quarter of a lot of hard work for not a lot of reward continues. Crocker for Ali Wilson, lobs it in for Griffin, backing down on Clinch Hoycard, kicks it out for Samuels. She can't connect.
I like that play phase from Bendigo. You know, specifically you could tell that it was going to go into Griffin in the end. Some good ball movement.
Lob pass, just a bit too much juice on it from Goodchild, but Clinch Hoycard copped some contact, I think, from Griffin.
Yes.
And is called for the foul. Third team foul on the Spirit in this quarter. A couple of substitutions for both teams. Good to see Alicia Froling back on her feet. She's taking a few minutes out after copping a nasty knock to the nose.
Hopefully we'll see her in the fourth quarter.
Very important for Bendigo right throughout the season. Atwell looked good off the hand.
It did look good off the hand, and that'll help her confidence. She hasn't been shooting the ball that well. Back to a 9-point game, under that 10-point margin.
9 points for Atwell, 2 of 5 from three-point land. Werung, Griffin, Kelly Wilson. Oh, went with the right with Potter there for company. It wasn't a bad attempt in the end. Stopping is Gorman and scoring is Gorman.
That's what they do. That's how they get themselves back into the game.
Once they catch fire from deep Perth, there are a few better sights in the WNBL. Atwell with 1 triple, Gorman with another, and it's back to 6 points, and we've got half a minute left in this third quarter. Werung has to find a target here, and Kelly Wilson, who misses, and Perth can have the final say, if they want, of the third quarter. Off the back of 2 consecutive three-pointers. It's with Amy Atwell. Boom!
Of course she's going to shoot that. You can't be in a drop situation when she's coming off a screen. That's just her bread and butter.
Wilson runs out of time. The Lynx finish the third with 3 consecutive threes, and it's a 3-point margin at three-quarter time. Bendigo 65, Perth 62, and we have a ball game as we turn for home at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Let's have a look at some of those third quarter highlights, with Bendigo making a big start, but Amy Atwell with some big time plays late in that quarter. She may have been down for most of the game, but she only needs a couple of opportunities and she can make you pay very quickly, Laurie.
Well, absolutely she can. And I mean, you just watched that last play unfold and you knew she was going to hit it. You knew she was going to shoot it. She had just hit one. Goodness me, you've got to make sure that you're a little bit more switched on than that. That lead that Bendigo's had's just been well and truly eaten into by Perth.
That third quarter was dominated early by Ali Wilson. She had 11 points in that third quarter, including 2 triples to go with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. But the Lynx went on a 10-0 run at one stage, and they now hold, or the Bendigo Spirit now only hold a 65-62 lead at three-quarter time, and those three-pointers starting to connect late there for the Perth Lynx.
Well, we asked the question, who would that little break benefit more when they were cleaning up the blood off the floor? And you'd have to say there's no question it benefited the Lynx. They came out after that for the last 3 minutes and just dominated.
Potter still with the 16 points, also 16 for Crocker. Maley Goodchild, and now Atwell also in double figures.
I feel like Bendigo need to get back to the screens that they're setting or using just aren't that efficient right now. They need to work hard at setting their man up, coming off hard. Right now, it's just a little bit predictable what they're doing.
Ali Wilson for Griffin, who almost wasn't expecting it and was off balance and went out of bounds.
Plus, they have to play the defense, Bendigo, if they want, because right now, Lynx are feeling pretty good about themselves, and so they should.
Cibertoni hoping for a cutter, none forthcoming. Retreats to Gorman, then turns it over. Crocker for Ali Wilson. Good luck catching her. Oh, well done by Amy Atwell. Good defense. Comes up with the stop. Potter sets the screen and Atwell can't connect. She's going to her one wood at every opportunity now. And she hasn't had many opportunities. Bendigo scouted her so well. Ali Wilson, no call either way. As both players hit the deck. Cibertoni for Gorman. Into the lane. Griffin with the rebound.
I'm tired watching that first minute of the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness.
Music blares around the Bendat Basketball Centre. Perth fans hoping their team scores the first points. Davis might have something to say about that though. Awesome left-hand hook from Ruth Davis. Already has the double-double tonight, Ruth Davis. 13 points and 10 rebounds. She went to work on Potter there. She argues her case with the referee. Wasn't for that one, it was for that one. It's for the elbow late. Ali Wilson right in her face as well, letting her know all about it. Big moment.
Yes, this is well, it's such a big game for both of them. I mean, it has such big implications for the playoffs, for the finals.
Spirit can't afford to drop this one. Ali Wilson for Crocker. Oh, yes indeed. Merrin Crocker, untouchable from three-point land. 6 of 8 tonight.
I would just be setting up plays for her, set her screens, let her come off a pin down, whatever it is, but give her the ball at the three-point line.
Foul is called. Bendigo will have the inbounds pass here. That lead has gone back out to 10. Here's Goodchild from Maley. Catches and shoots. Can't hit. And big play there from Potter. And can't find a teammate though. Oh, Griffin is flirting with the line there.
And how many times did I made this comment last game? I commentated that over and back gets called by very experienced players.
Yes. Oh, that was mightily close. Line ball. Kelly Wilson for Crocker.
Oh, I wouldn't leave her open. How could you possibly think about going under a screen when she's shooting the ball the way she is at this game? Unbelievable.
7 of 9. Merrin Crocker from three-point territory. One of the best shooting displays of the season we're seeing tonight from Merrin Crocker. Potter responds at the other end with a 2. She's got 18 on 8 of 18 shooting. Back to 11 points.
You know what's exciting is these two teams actually play each other again in
Yeah.
the last round,
Yeah.
round 15.
Yeah, the split for this season hasn't been decided. Perth won the first, 86-76 against Bendigo.
Right now for Bendigo, splits don't even matter.
No,
they just
don't.
have to win.
Yeah. Davis screams for it. Griffin guarded very closely by Maley. Griffin puts the shoulder down and draws the foul.
That's all her experience, Griffin. In one little package there. She's so strong.
Hasn't been her most productive night on the stat sheet prior to tonight, prior to the fourth quarter, really, Kelsey Griffin, but she's come up with some big plays.
Well, that's the thing, is that she commands so much attention. So if she's inside, she's going to draw a defender, maybe even 2 defenders. And so whether she's scoring or not, that could open it up for the outside shooters like Crocker.
No player on 4 fouls yet, but 3 fouls for Potter and Atwell for Perth. Good child inside for Maley. Potter follows up. Big game from Emily Potter.
I have to say, the refs are letting them play when it comes to that physicality under the basket, because, you know, there's a lot going on there.
Ali Wilson pulls the trigger. She can't connect. Maley brings down an important rebound. 6th board for Annalee. Good child. Will it go to Potter? The 2 lefties, the 2 Canadians go at it, but it's the right of Davis that swats it away. Then Davis on the fast break.
Oh my goodness, that's the fastest I've seen her run all year. The 2 big girls sprinting down the floor. Excellent finish.
Good child for 2. She hits. They're not going to die wondering, the Perth Lynx. This is where the wisdom and experience of this Bendigo side will be so important. Crocker rocking and rolling from downtown.
Oh my goodness.
8 of 10 from three-point territory, Merrin Crocker.
Seriously, wouldn't you just give her the ball? Wouldn't you set some screens and just let her shoot the lights out, continue?
She's got 25 points for the game. The 10th time she's hit 10+ points in a game. This is the most impact she's had from downtown. There's a hold from the Lynx. So it's a foul. That is the 3rd on the Lynx in this quarter so far. Tony, I think, was called for the foul there.
We'd have to say that the clock certainly favors the Spirit right now. They just need to be smart about things. Screen the screener action to get Crocker open.
Ali Wilson for Kelly Wilson. She is free. She hits the 3. Spirit giving the Lynx some of their own medicine on their home floor. Good child. Responds with her three-pointer. Big game, Mila Goodchild. 19 points for her, 4 of 7 from three-point land. Samuels back on the floor for Bendigo.
I think we should just forget defense, and it's just become a shootout.
Shibatoni letting Crocker out of her sight. Behind the back goes Crocker to Samuels, to Crocker on the inside this time. Why not? Merrin Crocker continues her epic night at the office.
That's her first shot inside the three-point line. Amazing.
And what a time to come up with the field goal as well. Clinch Hoycard is called for the offensive foul. Just see the body language of the Lynx change in the last minute.
Well, and they got that back. We have to remember at the start of the fourth quarter, they were within three points, and certainly changed this quarter.
3 consecutive triples. Kelly Wilson. Can't get that one to go. Shibatoni. Up high. Off target. Crocker rips it away. Doing it at both ends of the floor. She's feeling it tonight. Kelly Wilson has really taken over in this quarter. Ali Wilson quick to get back, and Shibatoni puts the Lynx in the bonus. A foul out of frustration, I think, more than anything else from Shibatoni.
So do we call this, if it goes according to the score right now, do we call this an upset, Ben?
Depends on how you look at the form lines, I suppose, Laurie, because the Lynx have certainly not been at their best in the past month, and the Spirit, fighting for their season in a very tough schedule, have almost thrived in the backs against the wall environment outside of that loss to the Southside Flyers on Wednesday night, where they just weren't themselves. This is more the Bendigo Spirit that I've seen in the past month or so. I get the feeling that Wednesday night was a true anomaly for Kennedy Kerryama's side. Goodchild is called for the offensive foul. 2 arms of Crocker go up in celebration, and you sense it really is party time now for Bendigo. And there's a few better feeling in sport, but particularly in basketball, when you go away from home to the opposition's court and you shut the crowd up and you know you got the game sewn up.
Well, you think of our 2 games that we've had for Saturday Night Hoops, and that was Adelaide beating Townsville in Townsville, and really it looking like Bendigo are going to beat Perth in Perth. Both really tough road trips.
Froling lays it in for 2, and we've got just over 2 minutes remaining.
Well, Sydney are going to be cheering the result for Bendigo, as that now will put them into 4th spot and move Perth down to 5th spot. And we know Sydney have played some good games in the last couple of, you know, Tess Madgen's really come to the party, and it's great to see the way she's been playing.
It's a 3-point party in the West. Casey Samuels joins in. She hits her first triple of the night. She's got 7 points. And
12 from 27, almost 50%.
Yeah, it's incredible. Meanwhile, the Lynx, it's actually it's almost even more remarkable that Bendigo have attempted more 3 points than the Lynx. The Lynx are 8 of 26.
Well, they've got to keep things together, Perth, you know, in the hopes that Ari McDonald, that they can still make the floor. You know, they've got some tough games coming up, though. In next round, they've got Melbourne and Southside away, Perth, so it doesn't get any easier. And then Canberra at home, and Bendigo back in Bendigo. So, whew, big games coming up still.
Big task for Ryan Petrick and his side. In the meantime, this is Chloe Forster at the line. Development player with the Lynx last year, elevated to the main roster this year. 20-plus point lead here for Bendigo.
And Bendigo also have some, you know, they're behind in the number of games, so they've got a couple more double weekends, and that includes Melbourne and Townsville, so no easy ask at all. No game's an easy game.
Werung can't hit that one. Lacandro's on the floor as well for Bendigo. Good to see Sophia Lacandro continuing to rack up the minutes after a wretched run with injury. She'll take part in the final few minutes here. Hannon having a run on the floor for Perth, as is Morell, but turnover here. You can see Alicia Froling wearing the number 0, the change tops after a bit of blood on a number 9 jumper a bit earlier. Foul is called. Reading the bonus, you can see Ryan Petrick. That's the look of a coach, quite frustrated.
Yes, he'll have his work cut out for him to try and come up with an answer.
And this is big offensively for Bendigo as well. They are just the 5th ranked team in the competition for offense. They normally average only the 76 points per game. But this has been an excellent performance offensively from the Bendigo Spirit tonight.
Well, and defensively too, when you think of Perth being the highest scoring team in the competition, normally you know, averaging 85 points. So Bendigo have done a good job on their home court, on Perth's home court, to keep them at 71 points.
Final few seconds here from the Bendat Basketball Centre. Morell goes to work, finds a way inside, and finds a way to get the 2, and will head to the line to shoot 1. Tage Morell is essentially the injury replacement for Aerie McDonald. She was signed during the off-season in anticipation of her actually becoming a permanent resident. And they can just add her to the roster naturally, but that still hasn't come through that permanent residency. So McDonald's injury has opened up that spot for Tage Morell. But Kelly Wilson sharing it around as the final seconds tick down. And the Bendigo Spirit keep their finals hopes alive. And for the first time in over 7 years, Bendigo defeat Perth at the Bendat Basketball Centre. A satisfying night at the office for Bendigo coach Kennedy Kerryama. His side defeats Perth 95-74. And that is, again, a very complete performance from Bendigo. They had a very complete performance against Adelaide last week on their home floor. But to do it against Perth, in Perth, that's a big tick for the Spirit.
Yeah, and they needed it. They have to keep things rolling if they have a chance to even claw their way, sneak into that 4th position. They can't lose a game from here on in.
Hard to think of a better shooting performance from a player this season than Merrin Crocker from deep. 8 of 10 from three-point land, 27 points, and also the 5 assists and 5 rebounds. What makes it even more remarkable is that she was out of shooting form heading into this contest. She was going at 17% from three-point land in her last 6. My word, Laurie, has she bucked that momentum trend?
Well, hasn't she? She was just so impressive, and that shooter's mentality, and her teammates were getting her the ball at the right time too. They when the defense collapsed at all, you know, they got it out to her. She was ready to shoot the ball, and such good form. You know, she'll need that. That was the one lonely shot that she took inside the three-point line, and even it went in.
Terrific performance from Merrin Crocker as she continues to show why she's been such a valuable inclusion for the Bendigo Spirit. Let's take The Lynx had 4 players in double-figure points tonight, but just the spread of scoring from Bendigo and the depth that they have was a big factor in this game. And if they do get into the finals, and it is a big if as well, a lot's got to go right now for Bendigo. That's a big strength for them heading into the deep end of the season.
It is, and especially when other rosters, you know, there's and we same with the Lynx. There's that little bit of injury problem there. That the deeper you can go, because there's still sort of 4 or 5 games left for most teams, that'll certainly help you.
Well, there's one more game to come in round 12 of the Cygnett WNBL season, and it's a reasonably significant one as well.
Yes.
The traditional rivals, Melbourne Boomers and the Southside Flyers, the Melbourne Derby. You won't want to miss that. 3 p.m. local time